What's going on, guys? My name is Marcel Flores. Welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. The year is almost at its end. What does that mean? A new year's ahead, a new year full of possibilities and ways to improve, and I want to talk you through resolutions that a gentleman could or maybe even should be making for the next year. Before I talk about the 9 more specific resolutions that you can actively try and make happen in the new year, I want to talk a little bit more about what it means to be a gentleman in the first place, because there's kind of a red thread going through all 9 of them that I think you'll see, but I just want to point it out right now. Being a gentleman is not just limited to dressing like one. But in case you're wondering, the tuxedo is from Dolce & Gabbana, the shirt is from Eton, and the bow tie as well. It's about a lot more. It's really a lifestyle. The importance really lies in how you treat people. Not only women, because I feel like traditionally that's the perception of a gentleman, he treats a woman nicely, but more so about how you treat people, including yourself. Maybe your brother, your sister, your friend, your mother, a stranger on the street. It really doesn't matter. It's about how you approach other people, that you treat them with respect, that you be attentive, and that you care about others as well as yourself. So let me walk you through 9 specific things that you can do, and then we'll draw a little conclusion together at the end. Number 1, hold the door open. Maybe a car door, the apartment door, door to a store, and if it's a revolving door, then make sure you let the woman enter first, and then you can push the door right behind her. Number 2, wear a suit. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Believe it or not, it's actually a lot easier to feel like a gentleman if you look like one, so I encourage you to do that. And obviously, if you don't know how to do that, I've got videos for that. Subscribe to my channel, or you can right now check out the video of how to wear a suit in 8 ways, so you know what you're investing in and how you can get the most of that. Number 3, improve your posture, and I think a suit will help with that because just of the way you feel, but it also needs it, because if I sat here like this, my shirt's all out and weird, it just doesn't look as good, and it doesn't look confident, and a gentleman is confident. Number 4, learn how to cook. Why? Because a gentleman is a good host, and a good host can also cook for himself and his guests, whether it be your lady friend or your friends coming over or your parents. To me, that's an essential part of being a gentleman. Another thing I think a gentleman should always do is offer his coat when the lady he's accompanying is feeling a little cold. In my experience, men just run a little hotter so we can tough through the cold, and I simply think it's a nice thing to do. Number 6 is master the first encounter. That means get your solid handshake down. Nobody wants to shake a dead fish. 2, make eye contact. Because you're meeting them, it's about making a connection, so make sure you get eye contact. And 3rd, very, very important, try and remember their name. That should be your focus. I mess up often because I feel like I focus on saying my own name right, as easy as it may sound, and then I don't listen for their name. It's very important that you remember the names of the people you meet, because names are actually something that we all hold very dearly, whether we consciously notice or not. So with those 3 points, you should be able to get the first encounter just right. I personally love helping strangers because it actually brightens my day probably just as much as theirs. So if you see somebody that clearly needs some help, it can be another dude that is just carrying 2 suitcases upstairs, it can be an elderly woman that has heavy grocery bags, offer help, carry it up the stairs for them. It goes a long way, and you never really know how much of a positive impact you can have on their day and your own. As I said in the beginning, how you treat yourself is also part of being a gentleman. So I encourage you to read books, which I think a lot of people already have on their potential resolutions list. Keep improving yourself, keep learning more, because all of that is part of being a gentleman, somebody that furthers himself in all facets of life. And then last but not least, I think as gentlemen, we should aim to drink responsibly. If you just take a second right now and envision a gentleman, do you see him getting plastered? I don't. And while a glass of whiskey on the rocks can definitely enhance the entire aesthetic of being a gentleman knows his limits, so I encourage you to just enjoy it responsibly, because 007 is probably one of the most iconic gentlemen out there, and you don't ever see him getting... That's not true, you totally do. Well, scratch that. But anyway, you get my point. So that's it, guys. Those are 9 little pointers that I think point in the right direction of how to be a gentleman and how to truly make a positive impact on the world, which that's what it is about for me. For me, it's about having a positive outlook on life, having positive interactions with others, and it doesn't have so much to do with the traditional gender roles. I want to speak to that for a really quick second, because I feel like a lot of guys think that being a gentleman goes with being sexist, but those are entirely separate. That's why I try to emphasize that being a gentleman doesn't only apply to how you treat women, but also how you treat others around you. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys, because I think it's very important that you make that realization internally. With that said, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas time and are ready to bring in the new year with positive vibes, wonderful people around you. I'm gonna say goodbye to you for right now, and I'll see you in a few days with the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, press that thumbs up down below, leave a comment, let me know what your New Year's resolutions are, and I will see you guys in just a few days. Stay dapper. Bye.